Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this Facebook Live on Bridges of Light. We'll be together for 1 hour and I'm gonna wait as always. Few moments until someone connects and then we will start talking, sharing, inquiring. And as always, I would like to thank you very much, you that you're here live with me, and you that are watching this later on, maybe this evening, tomorrow, whenever. Thank you very much for Bridges of Light, for giving us the opportunity to be here, to share, to discuss. Hello, Mattia. Welcome. It's great to see you here. Yes. Do you understand English? I guess so. If not, by the way, if for the Italian friends that want to learn English, but my English is not perfect and my accent is not very good either. But because I'm not English, I probably speak a little bit slower than English people. So it could be a good lesson, so to speak. Hello, Anna Rosa. Hello, Clemente. Oops, what have I done? Buonasera, yeah, buonasera to you too. But I'll try to speak English since it's an English live. And yeah, this evening we are going to be talking about the dynamics of the mind and soul. Or you could refer it to the mind and spirit. Hello, Alina. So we are going to consider that we may be taking action, we may be behaving in life in ways that they may be, let's say, stimulated by other, principally by the mind or by our soul. And there are some fundamental differences that I believe it's important to take into consideration. And we will be discussing about that. As always, I love the interaction. So if you want to share anything, please write it down. If you have questions you want to ask as well, fire them and ask them. To give you a taste, like a representation, without telling you anything about what I consider to be concerning the mind or the soul, I'm going to play out to you what I mean. And this is one of the main differences that I think there are between the mind, one of the dynamics of the mind, the way the mind operates, or when we operate actually, when we are focusing and concentrating on our mind processes, and how we function and behave when we are more connected, more aware of our soul, our spirit. Okay? This would be me coming from a pure mind dynamic. I'm exaggerating, by the way. Okay, so what could we talking about this evening? What is it that I have to tell you? What is it that we should be covering? Let me think, 1 second. What is it that I have to remember? Yes. Oh, I should be telling you more than what I'm saying. This would be the mind. When we are lost in the mind, normally this is what we think, and this is maybe even how we speak. This is when we are more, mainly focused and connected with our soul, with our essence, with our spirit. Hello everyone. Hello Ida. Great to see you here. Hello, Annalisa. Welcome. Are you noticing the difference? The dynamics of the mind are fast. They are very much concerned about doing and elaborating data. And the mind normally doesn't really like silence. As a matter of fact, often the mind is uncomfortable with silence and with pauses. While the soul loves pauses. The soul loves contemplating, observing, and listening to the silence. Having said that, in every given moment of our life, these two realities, these two dynamics are both operating contemporarily at the same time. So my message today is that one, it's not better than the other, and one doesn't exclude the other. This is important. Hello, Mariella. Welcome. Again, I think this is important to keep in mind, because it is a reality. We have a mind, we have a thinking mind, which operates, this is an analogy, but gives you an idea. It operates as a computer. It's a computing machine. And like as a computer, since we are born, our mind has collected data, information about the outside habitats, about our culture, about ourselves, and then in our mind, in our subconscious mind especially, they're stored all our experiences. So it's always analyzing the present moment on the basis of the information, the data, and the experiences that we've lived. So it's a very, very, very busy kind of entity, let's say, the mind. The spirit, the soul, it's I like to, you see, when I talk about the soul, I never like to say much about it, because to me it's difficult to describe the undescribable. When I talk about soul, essence, spirit, I regard it as being literally a pure energy, pure consciousness, and infinite potential. To me, is that which is having a human experience, and it can literally manifest in whatever form it could be. I mean, in this reality, everything is spirit. Everything is as a soul, right? And this soul is more than anything is here to experience. It's here to do. It loves action as much as presence, contemplation, and observation, right? So we are always operating in between these two realities, but sometimes at contemporarily. But let me see who else is here that wrote something. Hello, Leonardo. Leonardo says, I feel my mind wants to be in control, while I have to surrender to be led by my soul. But that requires courage, at least to me. Yes, Leonardo, thank you for sharing that. That is, you literally, you hit the nail on the head. That is exactly it. The mind wants to be in control. The mind loves to control because the mind believes in duality, in separation. The mind has been fed culturally by a society which believes in race consciousness, meaning believes in what it can see, in physicality, and believes that I am me, you is you. So that brings into the equation competitiveness, the beliefs in lack or scarcity, because of course if we have to compete about something, and if we believe that only what exists, what we can see exists, we believe that that resources may finish, so we have to run and get as much as we can for ourselves, while our soul knows the truth behind this, let's call it this worldly drama, and knows that we are infinite being and there's infinite resources everywhere, and there is nothing to control, to push or pull. And yes, that's the challenge, you're right. We can live at peace, and we can be led by our soul, our higher self, by life itself, by God, use whatever term you want, when we surrender. We have to literally surrender and have faith, believe that there is an higher power, there is an energy that knows more than our limited, educated, rational mind knows. Yes. Because that was my reality. Before I opened myself up to the possibility of being actually a spiritual being having a human existence, human experience, my life was directed by my mind, which had been conditioned by many negative beliefs. I used to believe, in fact, that I was only a human being, that I had to compete, that other human beings were not worth of my trust. It was only when I became aware of being more than just what I was identifying myself with my mind, that I could surrender. And then what happened? I realized that my mind now, it's like an instrument. It's something that I can use to create the life I choose. In other words, the master of our system, the master of our house, it's our soul. And the mind, it's that which it helps us to materialize what we want. Imagine like the spirit, the soul, to be like the architect that has an idea and wants to do something, and the mind is the engineer and the workers that they put into practice what the architect chooses. But unless we realize that we are the architects, we are let's say the Michelangelo, the one that has the idea of how his life wants it to be, the mind could only operate based on the information that has been fed. It hasn't really got any creative potential as the soul has. Let me read, because I don't like to stop talking without connecting with you. Hello Sonia, hello Emanuela, hello Roberta, hello, ciao Francesco. Something else that I would like to point out is that we do need a mind, and we do need a systemic way of thinking and operating in this physical reality. Why? Because otherwise society as we know it could not exist. So I am the first to stand out in public and say, guys, most of our suffering springs from our conditioning, and which is our structure, cultural do's and don'ts, rules and regulations that they limit our authentic expression, the authentic expression of our soul. Having said that, if we didn't have any structure, society as we know it would not exist. I personally believe, I feel that we could, yes, have some structure and some systemic way of thinking, meaning we can use properly our mind when this mind and these conditionings are aligned with our authenticity, with what our soul wants to create. And I don't think it's a utopia. I think it's very possible. All we need to do is to develop what can be regarded as being an aware ego. Because an unaware ego, an ego that doesn't really know who the person truly is, which is a spiritual being having a human experience, may, yes, create trouble in life, because beliefs, for example, that me, Luca, it's me, and you is you, and them is them, so it's me against them. But my mind, my ego, can work properly when it is fed the right information, meaning my ego can know, my mind can know that Luca, the entity which is Luca, is a spiritual being having a human experience. And yes, he has his ego, his mind, it's that which is like a portal, it's like a window, imagine a window on this world. So of course my ego view is limited because I can only focus on something in particular at any given time. Although, if I'm aware that I am only looking at a portion of the world, that allows me to come, even from an egoic point of view, coming from a space of humility, meaning instead of saying and judging things, saying this is it, and I am being dogmatic and saying this is right or this is wrong, I can say, from my point of view, from my little portal of the world, from my mind, my personal opinion is this. And it doesn't have to clash with anybody else. There's no conflict in that. I'm just telling the world, this is what I see, what I believe to be from my experience, but by no means is not the reality. And what is your opinion? So another ego, another mind would tell me, this is my opinion. And then my mind expands, and then we can actually collaborate. And even our ego and our mind, I'm pretty sure they can understand that they're just individual cells in these huge bodies. So we go from having a narcissistic view, like me, it's me and nobody else, to having a cooperative view. And the mind can do that. And of course, the soul that knows everything, then when the mind operates in that way, it's really prepared to be here and say, wow, guys, let's play the life game 100%. Let's give it our 100%. Let's collaborate and create something wonderful. But let me read before I keep going on. Mariella says, absolutely right. It's a strange and complex discussion, extremely. Talking about alma, soul, anima, soul. The most important, mind and soul, I think you mean. The most important sector of our life, which represents a mystery. Yes, it is a mystery. And as always, I like to inquire and investigate, and let's see what evolves, what idea springs to it. You see, by no means, whatever I say, I think is the truth. It's a mystery. Yeah, hello, Steph. Great to see you here. Hey, Pamela. Hello, sister. How are you? Hey, Evelyn. Well, hello, Lorenzo. Great to see you here. Evelyn, would you like to step in? Let me see. Actually, do whatever you do your magic, because I don't know what to touch here, but I'll see if I can do something. Hello, Rosie. Pamela says, you're such a treasure. Thank you. Love to you and to all our friends here in Bridges of Light. Yes, thank you, everybody. This is a wonderful opportunity we have. Hello, Violetta. Hello, Tiziana. Now, I would like to invite Evelyn here if she wants to. I don't like to. Yes, Evelyn, okay, let me click on it. Because she got me into her live last week, and now I would like her to be here with me, okay? Let's see if it works. Yes, something is happening. Oi! Oh, fantastic. Hello, Evelyn. How are you? Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
I'm doing the same what you done on me last week.
Yeah, well, you see.
That's that karma thing. That's that karma thing. What goes around
comes around, absolutely. How are you?
I'm very good. I finally got on to see you, Luca, because I was coming down to set up and then it started to rain. So I had to go and lift the clothes up the line and run into the house and run out of the house.
Wonderful. Well, you can stay as long as you want, but while I've got you here, even just for 1, 2, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, I would like you to share with us what is your views, your opinion, what would you tell us about what is inherent, let's say, of the mind and what is inherent about the soul, and how do you view the two, and what tips could you give us about them?
Well, the way that I see things now is about the higher consciousness of our mind, whatever people choose to call that themselves. I really believe if we can bring ourselves to a place where we witness that everything is perfect as is, that it's all energy, but to be able to witness it without judgment. And that's something that I really try to practice every day, Luca, is to how I became in judgment of something, someone, or myself. So that is my training, and that I absolutely believe that the soul is just a beautiful divine, it's unconditional love. But if we lived permanently, what would we learn along our journey? So as much as I said to someone the other day that I'm constantly surrounded with beautiful, beautiful people, it's nice once in a while to have another input that it just comes out of nowhere and you're like, whoa, what was that? Because sometimes you forget that people think a wee bit differently. But again, that's for me not to become in judgment, because that's right in that person's mind that has possibly, there's nothing I can say, will do, or whatever change anyone, nor am I here to force my opinions on anyone. But I know for me personally, where the better state of my mind to shift it to a higher consciousness, to invite that higher consciousness within, where everything, oh my goodness, where everything just changes. And the biggest change, I would say, in all of my life is from when this corona thing kicked in. I got a choice at that stage: feed into the fear, or let's witness this. Make the choice. So I chose to witness that, and everything changed.
Yes.
Everything changed, and it's been wonderful.
Fine, thank you so much. I have a question for you. Somebody that may be watching could be thinking, how do you know when you are connected to your higher power, to your higher self? Let's say when you are operating and connecting to your soul instead of your mind. What is your experience with it?
From here, oh my goodness, it's like this part here is just, it's something that you can't actually describe. To say love doesn't even do it justice. I mean, it's excitement, it's love of the unknown.
Yes.
Stuff that hasn't even happened yet. And even, as I think sometimes that whoever's witnessing on me, I think I was having a wee laugh today. I guarantee there's this, whatever it is, let her go on, let her run on, she'll soon find out. But it's here. Oh, look at the feeling. And it's a connection to whenever you see a human that you've never met before. And it's like, oh my God, I love that person. And not be afraid to say love, because I know that the other person feels that same. And it's a different love, I guess, that we are afraid to say, I love you, because we connect love to something else. But it's a feeling. It's a feeling. Yes. And you know what? You don't even have to be sitting in meditation all of the time to feel it.
Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. Your body tells you. Your body tells you when you hear the truth. For example, to be here for me, everything happened so fast. I mean, they told me about this group well over a year ago now, but then it's only like probably just less than a month ago, and even during the interview, I could feel, like you say, in my body there was something about being here, being with everybody in this group that was resonating with me. And yes, as you say, it's a feeling. You feel your body, your whole being. It's almost as if inside you hear a yes. Mm-hmm. Like when you hear somebody telling something that it's a deep inner truth, which I believe it's inherent to the soul realm. We feel it, we know it. Yes, it's like something wakes up. It's like, hey, it's beautiful.
And when we feel stuff in here too, because when people say my head is wrecked, You know, when we're forcing and forcing and forcing and wondering what's the next step, what should I be doing? And your head gets sore. And I always know if it's here, I'm like, Evelyn, stop, because everything should be an effortless. It just happens.
Yes.
You're forcing this, and you are trying to figure it all out. Do what you can do from here, and allow and surrender and allow the rest to unfold.
Yes, yes. That's perfect. I don't know if you were here already, but Lorenzo, that's exactly what he wrote. It was
Did he?
amazing. Well, yes, he wrote that he is something on this line, that he struggles when he operates from his mind, and it's not easy, but when he can surrender, that's when he can connect to his soul. Or he wrote something like that, to connect with his soul, he has to be able to let go and surrender. Yes, yes. To know
And
that we don't have to know it.
you would even notice it if you went to a presentation or a talk where someone is very scripted, you know. And I understand people like to write down notes in case they get nervous and forget. But if everything's coming up from here, this textbook knowledge, this what I heard someone else saying, and there's very little of it flowing here, and it's very scripted. You feel that. I can feel, you know, you can feel that. And when somebody stands up and they speak from here, it's very easy to remember your truth, and it just flows when you allow yourself. And that's, I always feel that connection if I'm listening to someone or hearing someone presenting something, whether they're scripted and their hand should be this and their voice should be this, and it's natural. It's a natural state of being.
Absolutely. Yes, that's what I sometimes, I wonder, you see quite a lot of politicians, and I do understand in a way, because they probably want to deliver the message exactly as it, the way the sentence is structured is paramount for them. But sometimes I think they could really learn it without reading it, but because there's something really simple about it. Maybe they mean it, maybe they even wrote it themselves, but the thing is that it in every given moment, I don't know if there's a time, but maybe they've done it with the English. I haven't done it with the Italian live. I keep saying we'll do an exercise, we'll do it, never do it. But here, I don't know if I did it, but maybe I'll do it later. But in any given moment in time, we can, although we are multitasking, we can do many things contemporarily. We can only always primarily focus on one thing at a time. So if I am communicating with you and I am at the same time reading, I'm primarily operating in my mind, and I'm not really present. So, and presence and contemplation, it's an activity of the soul, of the spirit, not of the mind. So if I'm here in my mind, I am not completely present with you. And you're right, and I won't resonate with you, and you would feel it. Definitely, absolutely. Yes, yes. So
I do indeed. So yeah, absolutely. And that's what connected us, was all feeling.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Yes.
And being cheeky.
It was so funny. It was all a chance, because of my mistake of doing a live at a time that I shouldn't have done it. And I think Gaetano's message halfway through live, you shouldn't be on now, you should be on at night. I think, oh my God. And then I thought, the days later, I should say sorry to Evelyn because I mixed it up. And then...
And I went into complete judgment because I was like, who's this weirdo?
So yeah, but that's it. Never judge. Never judge. Never think, oh, this is terrible. Well, what we may judge as being terrible could be our bigger blessing. Then
Absolutely.
Again, the mind loves to give meaning to everything, when ultimately I don't think there is any meaning. And I think our soul, our essence, is just there to experience and
it is. It's getting to that part. I think people's questions, but how do I get there? Or people have this concept of spiritualism or a higher self. Example, I had someone that messaged me the other day and says, how do I become more spiritual? And I says, well, what do you take by spiritual? What is your meaning from it?
Yes.
And she listed that this lady had her Reiki 1 and 2. She does meditation. She does all this. So I says, so what is spirituality really to you? She says it's connection. Okay, I said, okay. So do you feel that connection? But what she was doing, she was going into the mind and she was comparing herself to other people. That other Reiki people, teachers, whatever, they could give a reading to their clients after they were finished their session, from like spirit.
Yeah.
So, so I said, are you waiting on a voice to go, hello? Do you know? Is it me you're looking for? But the thing is to trust in yourself, because in the stillness you will hear all you need to. And yes, it does come through and you think, was that me that just come up with that? Yes. But I think we still have the mind, the human concept of it should be a voice, maybe a man's voice. And if we should see something, it should be, with our human eyes, it should be a vision.
Yes.
So, and not everybody has these, everybody has their own wee department that they take care of. But that's absolutely that you have to or trust in yourself. That if something comes to you, it's for you. You didn't make it up.
Yes.
And just go with that.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and like you said, there's I think it's a quite old school mentality to think that we can only be connected with our soul, our higher self, either when we are meditating or when we are in an altered state of consciousness, when we are like in a trance, so on and so forth. But like you said, sometimes you get, especially working with people, you get the urge almost of saying something or asking something, which then in retrospect, you find yourself asking that question or saying something, and in you go, your mind goes, but what have you said? Well, why did you say that? And I do believe that's because we are always connected with our soul. We are always divine guided. We are always connected with entities that we cannot see. So it's important, and these two reality, they are operating at the same time. Our mind is elaborating data, but also our soul can be in there. So we are always fluctuated between one or the other. And a great way actually to elevate our vibrational and emotional level, so that we are more open to spirit guidance. You know what? It's humor. In Italian, in fact, we say you are a person of spirit, or like I say, spiritoso, which literally means you are a spirited person.
Yeah,
you see, because spirit is funny. I like to consider, I know it may sound irreverent, but if we could see everything beyond what appears, like everything, that the perfection of it all, I think we would laugh at things that before we were panicking about. We would really we would take it lightheartedly. We would think, oh, it's, why am I stressing and so anxious about all this, when this is a dot in infinity? But our mind, because it's focused, rightly so, only on a piece of these huge puzzles, think that that's the end of the world. This is it. That bit that I have to remember, that bit that I have to say, that if I don't say, my gosh, they're going to be think I'm a fool. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it is good to take the seriousness, because I think that as we were brought up, all we knew of spirit or God was through church, so it was all very serious.
Yes.
And it's not to belittle what they do. If you're a serious person, you're going to be a serious person, but there's fun and joy in everything, and it doesn't mean that if someone's in a serious situation that we can't be there too. But I think it's time that the seriousness was took out of all the word spirituality, and just have fun. And that's what people sometimes are lacking in life.
I totally agree.
And joy. And if you cannot laugh at yourself, the other day I just sat and laughed at myself, because I went on a Zoom call and they were all Irish people speaking English. But the main speaker said in it that he spoke Spanish. And I was like, oh, well, I know a bit of Spanish. And this part of me was going, Say it, Evelyn, say it, say it. And this part is going, no, no, no.
The angel and the devil. Ah,
And I says,
who won?
just do it, just do it. So I done it.
These are good.
I introduced myself in Espanol, but do you know what? Afterwards, I got off. I laughed. My heart was thumping out of my chest. But those are the things that I love just doing. Just do it. And have fun and joy, and life is just wonderful. It is, but it does mean that we have to make changes. We have to make the changes.
Definitely.
Instead of waiting, a lot of people I talk to are waiting on something. They're waiting on the money before they make the move. They're waiting on the business before they talk about it. They're waiting on the man before, or...
Yes. The irony is that let's say somebody has got that mentality of waiting, and they think that if they had the money, their life would change. It has been proven when some people... they were poor, so of course they had a poor, so to speak, mentality, and they won the lottery, and most of the lottery winner, they lose the money anyway. You see, it give it a little bit of time, they lose it all, because again, our economic life, it's an outpicturing of our inner consciousness. So unless we open our mental equivalent about whatever we are relating to, we won't get all done to what we think it will give us what we need, which is, it's great when we understand that, because we really are the master of our own destiny.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. I believe that I've been taken this far. I've never gone hungry. There may have been times in life where there wasn't a lot of food, but I'm here and I'm healthy and well, and I've always been more than provided for, and it just keeps flowing. I think there's a wee thing, and on my phone, I thought, oh, you just want to keep giving. Oh my God, it just keeps giving and giving and giving. And I say, thank you, because that's the laugh, that's the fun, that's, oh, look what happened today, or look what I won today. That's the fun, that's the joy, that's the gratitude. I'll always be Evelyn, no matter what. And they're lovely then to experience. And the thing with having financial abundance, or having financial part, that I can help better to others. I have a dream. I really, really want a vision for this, because I remember one time for myself what it was like, that I would love to be in a position myself that I could help families, either single parents or families that work hard but can never afford to go on a holiday. I would love to be in a position to say, look, let me treat you for a week. I would really love to do that, Luca, for families, because I know what it was like at one stage myself. I'm just wanting to give that to your child, or that it breaks the cycle for children to say, you know what, just because it happened, mommy and daddy and maybe granddad and granny, it doesn't mean that it has to be the same for you, and yes. I would love for those experiences, and so that's why I'm very much open to blessings of abundance, so that I may help others.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I have the feeling you will do that. You will.
Do you need a holiday? You need to get a couple of. You need to get a couple of children.
Yes, and then you take them on holiday.
Rent them out.
Fantastic.
Luca, I'll not keep you much longer, because I have to go here. I have a lady to see at 7:00, and I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Luca.
Ciao, Evelyn.
Now, how do I get out of here?
I have no idea, to be honest. Oh, sugar, yeah.
The other time I think I can remove myself. All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, am I out yet? No.
No, let me see if I have to do anything. Evelyn, okay, let me see if this would do it. No, you're still there.
Oh, crap.
Okay, let me see. No.
There must be a handy way of getting out of here. I've only been on the other side, you see. Maybe I should just switch off my...
Yeah, I have touched everything.
Hold on, if I go on to this. No, I have to send a request. This is...
No.
Keep you talking, I'll find a way out.
Okay.
Dun. Maybe I'll switch all off here. Maybe that might. I'm hoping, Luca.
Okay. Can you maybe switch over? No, no.
You'll have half a black screen. I'll try this anyway because I don't really know how to get out. Okay, I'll try this.
Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Bye bye.
Ciao, Evelyn. Thank you so much.
Let's see.
Okay, Evelyn, that was beautiful to have you here. Hello, Rosie. Pamela says, oh yes, I wrote that. I read that, Tiziana. Okay, Mariella says, right, we must express personal opinions with human limits. Yes, I love what you wrote. Exactly. This is my opinion. This is what I feel, what I sense, what I think, and also what I believe about whatever. You see, I am contributing to truth, to life, and others can add to it, or they can even say, I see what you are saying in a different perspective. I don't think or feel that is true or is appropriate or whatever. But when you know that they are just expressing what they feel and what they think, and the same for us, there's no need for conflict. There's only, what can happen is it's a mutual growth. It's okay, let's see what we are talking about. I'm trying to get into your shoes, into your way of thinking. And if you do the same, surely we can find a middle ground. But if we think that we are right and they are wrong, there we have it. That's conflict. That's we want to win and we don't want to lose. Sonia said, great to have both of you. I loved having everything here. That was great. Mariela say, Evelyn, nice to see you. Steph say, great to see you too, on to Evelyn. Mariela say, it's something you feel from your heart. Oh, I think you're referring to how you know when something is true and resonate with you and when you're connected to your yourself. It's something you feel from your heart, and every section of your body has positive vibrations. Yes, Mariela, that's exactly how I feel it. It's an overall bodily feeling, very delicate, but at the same time very powerful, and it's a vibration. It's literally it's a high vibration that it's almost comes from outside of me. It is inside me, but it's almost as if it's a wave that comes from somewhere else, and it's difficult to describe. But yeah, Steph's agree. Mariela says, I can understand you, Luca. Thank you. Steph say, haha, you're both such good crack. Yeah, she cracked me up, Evelyn. Hello, Alessia. Ciao. Welcome. Hey, Mel. Glad to see you here. And Mel, good. Well, Mel, I'm going to see Mel tomorrow morning, actually. Mariella says, you two, you are a human portrait of happiness. You make me smiling, laughing, and this is so spiritual for me. Yeah, I truly think that we are definitely more in tune, connected, tapped in, operating from a soul level when we are laughing, when we are at ease, when we take things lightheartedly. If you think about it, when we are very serious, when we are worried, when we are angry, are we truly loving? No. Are we really present? No, we are not there for others. We're only in our emotions. We are taken by this mind dynamics that they fuel these negative emotions. So we're definitely not in our soul when we're too serious. I've been saying that there are times where we need to be serious. I'm not saying that we always have to laugh. Laughter is great for the soul, and I find it to be the best. Sonia say she's Spanish, yes, and Evelyn, yes, she speaks a bit of Spanish. Sonia says, hello, Gaetano, great to see you. Good to see you here. Hello, Julia. Hello, Sonia. Evelyn, you have to stay. Yes, she has a client at 7, so she couldn't stay. Hello, Anna Rosa. Now, if you don't have any more questions, while you write some question or some comment, I would like to point out some of the different dynamics or way of operating and viewing life that the mind has and the soul has. The mind believes in needs, in needing something. The soul believes in preferring something. There is a difference there, a delicate difference. Mariella say, I personally don't like serious people, angry, negative people. No, well, me too. Having said that, I used to be one of them. I used to be often very angry, very negative, and very serious. Yes, because I was identifying very much with my mind. Now I identify primarily with my soul. That's why I'm more lightheartedly. But I used to be like that. So that's why I know and I do understand and I empathize with people that they are serious, they're angry, they're negative. Because they're simply identifying themselves and operating from a mind standpoint. In fact, the mind believes that we need to do stuff. We need, because we need to survive. We need to compete. We need to look good, because the mind, one thing that the mind does is to judge. It labels everything. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. And it has been fed with judgment and all the parameters according to which we have to categorize things and people and circumstances. So the mind always need to come up with a judgment, need to come up with a plan of action, and so on and so forth. While our soul, our essence, it still is here not only to contemplate and to enjoy what is, but it's here also to create. Although our spirit doesn't believe in needs, it believes in preferences. Can you see the difference? I'll give you an example. We could be, imagine this person is in a restaurant and, I'm in a restaurant and I ask, can I see the menu? They show me the menu and I say, oh, I'll have tomato soup. And the waiter tells me, sorry, sir, there's no tomato soup. Now, if I could be coming from a mind level that I think I need the tomato soup to be happy, to be fulfilled and satisfied, and I could really get upset and go throwing the menu on the table and say, what is this? This restaurant is crap. I need my tomato soup. This is terrible. I'm not even gonna eat here anymore. I'm exaggerating, but you see, I need the soup to be on the menu for me to enjoy the moment. Or I could react like this, coming from a more evolved or more tapped into my soul consciousness. I might say, okay, I would have liked to have the tomato soup. I would have preferred it, but what do you have? Oh, carrot soup. I love carrot soup. Can you see the difference? I still have a preference. The soul still has a preference, but it's not a need. And if I don't get what I prefer, I am fluid and I can enjoy something else. In other words, we could be living, having, and this is something that I invite you to do always, you can have intention, you can set your mind knowing that you can have intentions in life, which is very useful, knowing what you would like, but without expectations. I repeat, you can have intentions, but not expectations. You could do something intending to achieve something or to receive something or whatever else, but without being attached to the outcome, without expecting and demanding something. And it is possible. But if we come from an egoic and purely mind level, normally we expect something. Because the mind, the way it works, it's like a computer, one in, one out. It's systematic in nature. So the balance always has to be right. So if I give something or if I make an effort, then I have to receive something and the balance has to be right, okay? In the realm of the spirit, of consciousness, pure consciousness, the soul, this logic come into the equation. So we are much more fluid. It's more about what we give, what we contribute to life, because we know that we are here to express who we truly are. Our essence is here to give. It receives when it gives, when it loves. The mind, it's more of a calculator, which is fair enough. Like we mentioned before, the system, the cultural system as we know it, if it hadn't some kind of retributional system, meaning in society, I give something and I receive something in return, like I work for somebody and they give me money or they give me something else back, it's a good thing. But this give and take kind of mentality sometimes could cause suffering for us. So to have a flexible mind, thinking, knowing that, yes, I would like something, but I'm not attached to having whatever I want, and be able to detach and to connect with who we truly are and let go, would allow us to live much more in harmony with ourselves and with life. And the paradox is that we would be much more effective and everything would become effortless. Like Evelyn was saying, when you realize who you truly are, when you connect with your higher self, life becomes easy. Everything it just flows to you because you are in the flow. Hello, Deborah. Great to see you. Mariella says, the fact you believed in your changes and you did your best to realize them makes you a better person. You are sincere to let us know. Let me read this again. The fact you believed in your changes and you did your best to realize them makes you a better person. You are sincere to let us know. Thank you. I think you referred to the fact that I said that I was a negative, angry, serious person, because it's the truth. Because it's the truth, you know. Again, if I hadn't been in that situation, if I hadn't been putting on those clothes, so to speak, maybe it would be more challenging, more difficult for me to have sympathy, empathy, to understand somebody that is angry, that is serious, and that is negative. And I may be inclined to judge them, to point the finger, to think, oh, you are, you will never change because you are negative, because you do this and that. But because I was there, I've been there, I know that everything can change. And you know what I did? I did in a very short sentence what I think it was, I can't remember the name, Lorenzo, somebody at the beginning, he wrote that when he connects to his higher self, to his soul, when he surrenders, when he lets go. Well, that's exactly what I did. That's what I did. I was taking lots of drugs. I was drinking a lot. I was really not taking care of myself, and I had a very negative mentality. And then I literally, when I had enough, I don't know if you know my story, but just because somebody told me that there was my mom there, they wanted to tell me something 6 years after her death, that she was happy, but she wanted me to change my lifestyle and to become responsible instead of continue living like I was. And I thought, oh my gosh, I chose to believe that he wasn't saying lies to me. And I literally went up and say, okay, God or whoever you are, if you're there, I thought you were a nasty beep, 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 but if you're there, help me out. And I surrendered because I knew I couldn't have turned my life around. And I swear to you, I felt, well, like we were saying before, like you feel energized and you feel vibrant and alive. And it was all natural, and I hadn't taken drugs. And it was like, what is this? So I knew that I had tapped into something that was bigger than me. And now I know though it was bigger than me, but it was me, because it is us. We are it. We are what we call life, what we call God, what we call universal intelligence. We are a part of it. Our soul, it's a localized expression of, you could call it the big spirit, which it is bigger than the sum of the parts, but we are it. Imagine the ocean. The drop of the ocean as goes in itself the property of the whole ocean. So the drop, it is in itself, is the ocean. So we are creators. We can create using being aware, because I truly believe that it's not so much about using our essence, our spirits. It's actually it uses us. Our essence uses us. Our spirit uses us. But what is necessary from us, it's to acknowledge it and to recognize it and to be open to it. And then it can flow through us and, let's say, really use us. We can become its instrument. And then, yes, we can use our mind to create what we want. One way that I always invite people to use their mind is asking themselves questions. Use the mind to train your mind to ask intelligent, clever questions. Okay? Have it to become your question formulating machine. That's what it has to do, the mind. And then that said, the answer, do not look for them in the mind, because your mind will always find you answer, because it will give you answer, but it's all about data that you have acquired, experiences you have had, but it's all contained. The true inspiring answers, they come from the field, from life. They come from your soul. So ask the question, use the mind to ask the question, and then let go. You'll find the answer, but not in your mind. Hey, ciao Guglielmo. Great to see you here. Mariella saying, when we touch the ground, we reawake to highlight. I like the sentence. Yes, absolutely. So yes, you know what I regard, just want to say this before we close. When we have questions and when we look inside of us for answer, it's as if we had, you remember when on car we used to have TomTom, which they are directional devices. They tell us how to get, let's say, from Milan, from, let's say, London to Birmingham, okay? And the information are stored in the device. That's our mind. And then if something happens in the territory, we have to program the TomTom, but we have to program it manually. Now, when we use our mind to ask questions and then we are open to receive the answer from, let's say, the field, from life, from our higher self, from our soul, it doesn't matter what terms we use, it's as if we connect with the universal Wi-Fi. But what's the difference is that the universal Wi-Fi, it's a GPS, which is live here right now, knows everything. The topology of the ground, knows what happened. It doesn't have to, I don't have to reprogram the machine, which is our mind. I hope I give you the idea of one of the main differences. You know, we could be here for like hours. We could do a one-day workshop about the differences between the dynamics of the mind and the one of our soul. But I hope we stimulated our way of thinking enough. Hey, Wendy. Oh, I love you so much. I love Wendy. You explained it so well. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, 59. I think this is it. Right. Well, let me once again thank you very much, everyone. I love you very much. If you have any questions of any kind, write them. I'm going to see you again for the English Live at the same time, 6 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, evening. Yes, I'll see you next Saturday, 6 o'clock. Again, thank you very much. Ciao, Angelo. Thank you. And that's it. Let's see what I have to press. Sometimes, yeah. Okay, this one. Ciao, Sonia. Thank you.